In this lecture, I will be presenting the penetration testing report preparation. This will be useful to you whenever you make any penetration testing on a domain or a system or any other device, or either it may be a mobile device or it may be a wireless device or whatever it may be. Either it may be an organizational network or it may be an individual system or whatever it may be. So you may use several tools, several techniques to uh, find the vulnerabilities, and you may go for exploiting of those vulnerabilities, especially starting from the general gathering of information, like information gathering. After information gathering, vulnerability analysis, and after vulnerability analysis, you will go for exploiting of the vulnerabilities. These vulnerabilities you may find with respect to general systems, with respect to general networks, with respect to the wireless networks, with respect to the web applications, or web servers, or maybe database servers with the help of the SQL injection. So these are the various ways you can identify the vulnerabilities. Once you identify the vulnerabilities, you may use popular exploitation tools. Either you may use the open source tool called Metasploit for exploiting the identified vulnerabilities. Then you may also conduct this stress testing on the servers to know the capability of stress it can handle. Then to perform the reverse engineering or to know in a reverse manner, you may use some forensic tools to get it, that is, get the information about the system. And passively, you may also observe the traffic over the internet via sniffing tools, either via using TCP dump or Wireshark or WinSniffer. Once it is done, then you may guess for the passwords, and this in the process of guessing the passwords, you may perform the password attacks. That means the password attacks may be handled with the help of the that is the structure of the passwords. Either it may be saved in the hash format, either it may be MD5 format, or it may be any other format, or NTLM hash. So the various hash formats will be available. Once the hash formats are available, then obviously you will go for related tools such as Hashcat or John the Ripper and any other related tool to crack the password. Once the password is cracked, then maintaining the access, especially to gain the to once the password is cracked, then you may get the gaining of the access to the system. Once the gaining of the access is done, then you may go for escalating of the privileges. That escalating of privileges from the normal user to the root user, thereby maintaining of the access may take in place. So whenever these kind of things were happened, then it is a series of or sequence of steps that you are supposed to carry out, and these sequence of steps must be neatly documented. So then only it will be understandable to the organization. At the same time, the organizations may take or management may take a decision that how to maintain the security in the upcoming developments or upcoming applications. So these are the things that we are supposed to report in any of our penetration testing reports. So that is the reason that report preparation is also equally important. Not only performing the penetration testing, but doing this or preparing this report is also equally important. So let us see how this particular penetration testing report will be prepared. Actually, this is a somewhat old report that was presented by the Offensive Security, which is around 2013. Let it be. We'll go for report observation now, and we'll extract what are the important things that are required for objective or scope of our work that we'll consider. Here, table of content, executive summary, summary of the results. So, what is the summary of the results that need to be presented at the executive summary? Attack narrative. So, identifying of the remote systems, remote system discovery, admin web server interface compromise, interactive shell to admin server, administrative privilege escalation, Java client attacks, escalation to local administrator, deep packet inspection bypass, critics environment compromise, escalation to domain administrator. So these are the various attacks that performed by the pen testers. So for every of this attack, they need to present the related steps they have followed, the tools they have followed, and after identification of these attacks and exploitation, that penetration tester must provide the criticality of the attack, whether the vulnerability identified is very critical, or the what could be the impact on exploiting this device, this particular vulnerability. That must also be presented in the thing, in the report. So after this conclusion, here recommendations. So these are the recommendations. It is just like your countermeasures that what we have studied in every topic. That recommendations must be provided, and risk rating. So what is the risk rating of the corresponding vulnerability, whether it is medium, low, high? So that must be presented. Then there will be an appendix, because everything cannot be included in one document, especially related to the commands and usages. They may keep appendix, vulnerability detail and mitigation. Here risk scaling, risk rate scaling, default or weak credentials, password reuse, shared local administrative password, patch management, DNS zone transfer, default Apache files. So these are the vulnerability details and mitigation procedures were detailedly described in the appendix, so that it will be used as the supporting document for the report they have made. Because whenever a management of an organization wants to take a decision, so to know more about the findings that was presented here in the conclusion, so they will go for adding of this additional thing. So that will be added as that will be useful as a supplementary material for understanding or to take any management decision by the management. So this is the way you are supposed to prepare the document. Here, executive summary. You look at here. Offensive security was conducted by Megacorp one to conduct a pen test in order to determine its exposure to the targeted attack. All activities were conducted in a manner that simulated a malicious actor engaged in a targeted attack against Megacorp 1 with the goal of, see here, this is the scope of the work. What is the goal of the work that must be mentioned here? Identifying if a remote attacker could penetrate Megacorp 1's defenses. Next is determining the impact of the security branch on confidentiality of the company's private data, internal infrastructure, and availability of the Megacorp's information system. So these are the two main goals here. In order to breach the confidentiality can be breached by password attacks, by DNS spoofing, or maybe via the things that was mentioned here, administrative privileges, and any other application-based attacks, like such as Java application attacks. So what are the possible things are there for the confidentiality that can be checked and reported? So efforts were placed on identification and exploitation of security weaknesses that could allow a remote attacker to gain unauthorized access to organizational data. The attacks were conducted with the level of access that a general internet user would have. The assessment was conducted according to the recommendations outlined in NIST, National Standards Security Institute, SP, that is the recommendation number 800-115. So with all tests and actions being conducted under the controlled conditions. That means with all other conditions. So here this is the PDF of the NIST recommendation of conducting the security test. You may go through this. I will also provide this file in the Google Classroom as well as in the description section. So you may go through that. So summary of the results, they have given the summary of the results like this. And first of all, attack narrative, remote system discovery, how the remote system discovery was done, like by performing the NS lookup and like the what you call the network searching. That means whether searching the IP addresses within a given range. So by using NS lookup, they are going for giving up the IP addresses, and they are going to get the subdomains and other related information. Then after that, they estimated what is the network of the, what is the diagram of the network, and they gone for identification of the target network in this. So here they assume that this is the person who was sitting here, and this is server, and this is the internet. From this ingress traffic filters will be available from their megacorp one. This is the network connected here, and deep packet injection was done to this particular management network, and he is the person who is performing the penetration testing. So this is the network graph, network diagram that was provided here. So like that in your report also you must provide, whenever any penetration testing was done, you are supposed to provide via diagrammatically how, where you people are sitting, and what are the penetration testing activities you are doing, and is there any is the thing are passing through cloud computing or cloud servers or any other internet or any other thing that you are supposed to mention here. And the targeted servers, especially like DNS, email, and internet servers, so especially which are available in the DMZ zone. Actually, because the DNS, mail, and internet servers usually will be available in the public domain. So what are the resources that are available in the public will be placed in the DMZ zone after the after the traffic, sorry, after the firewalls, which are the outer firewalls in any organization. So this DMZ construction and all we have seen previously in a brief manner, but we have not gone in detail. Generally, this is the one we know that the public resources will be available in the DMZ zone, and the traffic will be placed. That is, firewall will be placed just before that. So here, this is the target network presented here. Then admin web server interface compromise. So they have used OWASP DIR buster. We have used the DIR buster in our system hacking example for the vulnerable OS v2 version 2 operating system. So there also we have used the DIR buster in the command mode. Here they have used in the GUI mode. Then they have gone for observing of the admin privileges through the website they are having. They are going for checking of any attempt to make the admin privileges successful or not. Then they are trying to access the SQLite manager, which is available with the web server or web application. And the source code review they have made, just like how we have gone for the web page and thereby code inspection we have done. In the same way, they have gone for the source code review because they are the penetration testers. They have the access to the source code. So, and they are going for the discovery of the password hash generation algorithm, and they have tested the strength of the password generation algorithm, because here they have given the random underscore string of 10 comma something. So random strings will be generated. How best random numbers are generated, or how far the best random strings are generated, they are going to test in this. Then interactive shell to admin use server. So we have used SSH. They may use some other. They have used some other thing, that is here Python RCE fixed pipe.py. They might have used their own Python coding for connecting to the target system. In our vulnerable OS v2 system hacking, we have used the SSH terminal, and at the same time we have used the meterpreter and the metasploit for creating the reverse shell and connecting to the system. Like that, because there is no one fixed tool that can be used. There are many other tools available. It depends upon the experience or expertise of the system, sorry, the penetration tester or the hacker to do this particular activity. Here, web server compromise. Here, web server compromise. They might how the web server compromise was done. So usually they have targeted the client, and they have used the man-in-middle attack for performing this particular web server compromise. So a diagram was shown here how the web server compromise was done. Once the web server compromise was done, then they gone for the administrative privileges escalation, and how this particular escalation was done. Usually we have used the meterpreter command, and thereby we have exploited the thing. At the same time, parallelly we did the SQL map. We have used the SQL map, and we try to identify the forms that are open for giving the input, and we try to give the random inputs and try to explore what are the databases used, Thereby, once you find the databases, then automatically we discover the users, then tables, then data, etc. Like that, we have directly used the open source tools and identified the things and reported. So like that, you may also there may be some proprietary tools or they may be custom made tools that was developed by the testers itself. They may also use that reports, sorry, that scripts to identify this particular uh, the output, like what are the vulnerabilities, how the privilege escalation can be done. They may do they may write their own code and can go for running of those that code to perform the penetration testing activity. Then by Java client attacks, they tried with the Java client. We have seen in the vulnerable OS version 2 system hacking. In that, we tried using the PostgreSQL. We tried using the inbuilt tools that are available in the vulnerable OS. We have penetrated into the vulnerable OS via SSH. Thereby, we found that a Blender image is available. We have taken that Blender image to our side. Then we opened the Blender image. There we try to observe the password. Some the indirect way of getting the information we did. And in this particular megacorp, in that web server, they find the Java clients available. They try to check for the Java client attacks and gone for the checking of the IP config and they get the IP information because obviously whenever the bypassing of the firewall was done automatically, the because of the ARP they can get what are the IP addresses attached to the system, and then thereby they got the IP address information, and that IP address information was they have noted it, and finally reporting of these IP addresses and corresponding privileges they have checked for that. Then finally they have gone for the deep packet injection and they have used the meter preter and created the sessions, and they gone for checking of the passwords, privilege escalations, etc. That what we have done in the vulnerable OS v2. The same thing was performed here. Like that, they have presented the report. This is one report expressed over here. And another report I will show you here. This is the TCM security. This is a demo company. Security assessment finding report. Here they have clearly mentioned here the table of content and confidential statement, then disclaimer, contact information, assessment overview, assessment components, findings, severity rating, scope, executive summary, security settings, security weaknesses, vulnerability by impact. So these are the things they have mentioned here. Confidential statements. So obviously there is a confidential statement must be provided, as we have seen in the case studies of the cyber security and cyber laws. And the contact information, who is going to do what and who is responsible for making the contract and all. These details and information must be provided here. Assessment overview from May 20th, 2019 to May 29th, 2019. TC engaged TCMS to evaluate the security posture of its infrastructure compared to current industry best practices. So like that, in this, the phases of penetration testing activities include as following: planning, discovery, attack, reporting. So here planning, discovery, attack, reporting. In this, see here additional discovery will be done. Here external penetration test. So is there any third party involved in this? If so, what are the third parties that must be mentioned? Next is finding severity ratings. So critical means this one, and high means this is the score given. Moderate means this is the score given. Low is the score is given. And definition, how, when, in what cases you will feel it as a critical. And you can have many other categories can be mentioned, relatively low, relatively moderate, or like that. But you are supposed to provide the definitions for that. Then external penetration test, from which IP address to which IP address details, from 19.168.0.024 by 24 and 1.0 by 24. So total around 255 to 55, so around 512 IP addresses you are supposed to check for this. So scope exclusions. Per client request, TCMS did not perform any denial of service attack during this testing. So they have ignored DOS attacks testing. the remaining other attacks related to the system testing they have performed. Client allowances, so they have provided this client allowances and all. Executive summary, attack summary. Here, what are the actions they have considered and what are the recommendations they have made for the actions they have identified. So, like that, they have provided the security weaknesses, the strengths, and how to improve the things and all. So, in the same way, in the previous offensive security report, also at the end, they will have provided they have provided this information like password reuse, the rating is high, description, what they have made, and how what the weakness they have identified, and what is the impact, and what are the recommendations for to overcome this particular weakness was mentioned in this report. So this is the way how the proper reporting has to be done. And here another report that I can provide you. This is a SANS Institute. SANS Institute is a very famous institute for the information security research. They have provided the white paper. So in that, this is the one white paper, writing a penetration testing report. In this, actually, the writing a penetration testing report is an art that need to be learned to make sure that the report has delivered the right message to the right people. The report will be sent to the target organization, senior management, and technical team as well. For this reason, we, as penetration tester, need to deliver the report in a way that that serves our objective to secure the information. So this paper, actually, this is a white paper. This explains the penetration testing report writing methodology based on the author's experiences, describing the report content and design. Appendix A shows the detailed example of penetration testing report based upon the described approach. So they have given the approach how to start the penetration testing. So report planning to be done, information collection, writing the first draft. So this whatever the draft you have written is not final. So you are supposed to review and finalize. Only the technical content must be included and suitable suggestions to be made. Next is report development stages, report planning, report objectives, time at what from what time to what time they have done, and all these are the details they have mentioned here. So this you may go through that. I will also provide this in information in the description section and also in the classroom. So here document properties, what are the document properties, and table of contents. So this is the table of contents that must be included in your report. You are supposed to go through this report and you may do accordingly. So these are the things that we are supposed to consider in this report writing. Now we'll go for generating of the reports. And is there any tools available in the Kali Linux or anywhere to prepare this report kind of thing? That we'll see now. Now we'll see what are the reporting tools that are available in Kali Linux, because we are making use of the Kali Linux from the beginning. So we'll see what are the tools available in Kali Linux. Here, this is the InfoSec website from which I'm presenting this the reporting tools. Here, the penetration testing reporting is very important. In this, here the tools are like this. This is Dradis, Magic Tree, and Metagofil. So these are the tools that are very important tools in the previous versions of the Kali Linux you used to find. Anyhow, you may also in 2020.3 version you will not find these tools. There are some other tools available there. These three tools are not available. Basically, that Dradis has become the proprietary, then Magic Tree and Metagofil, and there exist some free versions of these three tools are also available. But you are supposed to manually install them, like apt install Dradis, like that, and apt get install Metafoil. Then these documentation tools will be installed. So this Dradis, what is this Dradis will do is here to work with this Dradis, you are supposed to make a service Dradis start. Then the Dradis service will start, and this Dradis service will work on the localhost 3004 port number. So you open this. It is a web-based scanning and penetration testing tool and reporting tool also. So you open this web page, then you can go to the security settings. Then it will ask you for creating of a login account. Then you can go for creating of login account with password and all. Once the login password is successful, then it will give you the console like this, or the GUI like this. In this Dradis framework, you are supposed to select the security test. You can create a security test. Under the security test, you will be having you can create some nodes, or node in the sense here a device or a DNS or a website that what you want to do. So add child. So you can add a default child or a host, whatever you want. You can do it. You can select this. Then you can go for security test, port scan, Nmap scan, BRUP scan, Nikto tool, Nessus tool. So all these reports can be added to this Dradis. Then see you, because whenever you perform Nmap or any BRUP suite or a Nikto or anything, you can save the result into the XML sheets or XML files. So whenever you save the results into the XML file, obviously you will be having a folder where all these reports will be saved, and you can pick that report. You can pick that report and you can place from this Dradis, and you can include it into your documentation. So whenever this report was included, then you will find the report will be like this. Okay, report is like this. Then you can find what are the ports that I have scanned, and what type of signal it received, because of which it was decided that whether it is an open port or closed port or filtered, unfiltered port, etc. So like that, it will show you the different techniques go for representation of the documentation, and it includes what are the possible security tools that you have installed on the Kali Linux. For all the things, support was provided in this Redis. So whatever the reports are there, you can pick up and you can directly place this. And not only this one, you can also place the images like screenshots, etc. That also you can place. Finally, you can go for generating of the report. That report will be generated in a PDF form, and finally you can place this report generation, and you can also mention the description and all details, etc. Then once it is done, then finally you can go for assigning of the report. That is you may export it to the HTML or Word or any other thing. You can export it. Then finally the documentation will be provided. So these are the this is the way you can use the Dradis. At the same time, Magic Tree also. Compared to the Dradis, compared to the Magic Tree, Dradis is more having more number of features. So here the comparison table was given between the Magic Tree and the Dradis. So it is always recommended to use the tool which is having the more number of features. Next, we'll move on to the Maltego. See, this Maltego is a reporting tool. Here in the Career Linux, in the applications reporting tool, under reporting tools, you will find Maltego. This Maltego is the graphical user interface based the reporting tool. So you click on Maltego. Actually, what is Maltego? Maltego will come in various versions and various editions, in which the community edition is the free one. Okay, remaining other editions are proprietary. You cannot use. Only community edition you can use, and the community edition will give you the what you call this facility of doing the work from the reconnaissance, that is information gathering to the reporting. Everything it will be provided. And in order to work with the Maltego, first of all, you should have Maltego account. You should go to the Maltego website and you sign up for the Maltego account. And the same Maltego account should be used for running of this application. So this is the Maltego edition. Anyhow, because I have also already created the account in the Maltego website, you can say here you just type google.com. So here Maltego account sign up. You can log in into the Maltego products. Here register a Maltego community edition account. So once you register, then you will get an email verification. You are supposed to accept that email verification. then this Maltego key can be will be enabled up to some 1 year time. So within that time, you can use this key for making use of this Maltego communication on the Kali Linux. This is the graphical user interface of Maltego. I have created an account and I have used the same account username and password for entering into this Maltego. So the GUI of this Maltego will look like this. In this start page and transfer hub, these two things will be there. So transfer hub is nothing but what are the different filters and other features that are provided by Maltego are presented here. But we don't require all these things. We'll go for new. Click new. Okay. Here click on new. Whenever you click on new, you will get a graph. So this is especially a graph based. This is a graph based tool which will represent the reporting, which will represent the findings, everything in a graphical manner. And you can see here, this is for the demo use only. In a watermarking, you will find here. And here at the left hand side, you will be finding IP addresses, devices, date and time, company, organization, infrastructure. Here you can find the autonomous system, banner, DNS name, domain. You can go for performing of information gathering and testing on any one of these. So here domain is there. So you click on domain and drag onto the this space. So here you will find automatically this an icon has come. So this icon is the domain that you want to search for. So you may type this domain name. I am typing it as example.com. Okay, I am typing it as example.com. So if you want to go for information gathering on this example, just you right click on this and you can see all transforms. That means the date and time, DNS name, domain name, to domain name, etc. Then DNS from domain, the DNS information and its sub classifications, and domain owner details, email addresses from the domain, file name, documents from the domain, missions that are included. You can find many things. See how you will do Nmap scanning and all, everything you can find here. So here domain, let us go for searching of the email addresses. Okay, email, and let will check for the who is. We'll use who is and we'll try to get the email addresses that are with the example.com. Click on this. You look at here running transform to email addresses, and it is using who is tool internally and getting the email information that is with that is the email addresses with the example.com. So it is searching for that. Now what I'm doing is I'm going for searching of all email addresses, email domains. So all the scripts that are available in the email will be run here. You look at here, it is going to give a graphical format, and John at the rate email example.com, FOO at the rate example.com, developer at the rate example.com. Whatever the email addresses that are linked with the example.com was shown here. Like that, you can search for any other thing like domain owner details, etc., and machine details, and DNS for from domain details. Everything you can search in this. Then once you do all the things, all kind of operations, then here export will be there. You can export the details information either as generating report, export graphs, and export as XML, and like that export as a table. Like that, various options are available. You can export this finding. So this is one example I have shown you. Like that, you can also search for any other domain, any other IP addresses. For this, what you do is click next, new. You will be having another thing. So here IP address, you can choose IP address and you can get it. So what I am doing is I am running vulnerable OS v2 parallelly. So let us see the IP address of this vulnerable OS v2 and also the Kali Linux. Actually, the network that I have attached to the Kali Linux is the NAT network. So ifconfig. So here the IP address is 10.0.2.10. So this is the series. So nmap 10.0.2.1 by 24. That will see what are the IP addresses that are active in the NAT network. Anyhow, the initial one 10.0.2.0 and things will come here. Here 10.0.2.11. This is the vulnerable OS v2 IP address. So what I will do is I will use this IP address. Okay, I will use this IP address here 10.0.2.11. This is the IP address. Now I want to go for the all transforms. So in this all transforms, you will find so many things. So many details are there, and you want to find the websites available here or phone numbers available with this location, country, email addresses, domains, and any other thing which are available with this that will be displayed here. And DNS from IP, DNS name and its related information, IP owner details, email addresses, entities, location, and all that can be discovered. So we'll see all transforms. Just to click on all transforms, we'll see what can be found here. So here it was found that it was on many things. You look at many things we identified here: net type, IETF, and here database information and other related informations we find here. Proxy information is there, VPN is there. So it is trying to identify all information that is linked to the thing. So like that, it will show you the many things like net block, email addresses, company details, IPv4 address, domain names, DNS names. So leisurely, you go through this Maltego. So once you extracted the information, then you can go for export, and you may export in any form which was given here. So this is a simple description of Maltego and how to use the Maltego for preparing the reports.